Everybody, it's Invicta. It's time for another run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Thursday, Mosh Pit. I hope you all had a fantastic Thursday. We are coming off the high of a very good run yesterday, and maybe, who knows, maybe this is the time it all turns around. I mean, October had a little bit of a slow period, and then towards the middle of the month, all of a sudden, bam, it became one of the most, if not the most powerful months that we ever had. So thank you all very much for all the support. I hope you have a great start to your weekend. It's getting cold outside, man. It's starting to be my weather. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully today's run is just hot as yesterday's, though. That would be real nice. Here's your picture of the day submitted here by Doozy Essie. Title of the thread was Not Just the Isaac Streak. And then this is a very extensive post on the Sinvicta subreddit. I've also edited this just for privacy's sake, but they said, life is nuts. Sinvicta's Isaac Streak isn't the only streak intact. Sinvicta is one of 3 YouTubers whom I still watch consistently since sophomore year of high school. Now I'm 1 year after graduating college. As someone who doesn't like constant change, thank you for being one of the few constants of my life. It's my turn to support you after all you've done for me. It's been an insane ride to see all the changes in your channel. Let's keep rocking. Shout out to Alex. I can't speak Spanish, but I can't type it grammatically correct. But if only you knew the history of Sinvicta and the Spanish mosh pit. Yes, I was one of the few who would yell "No" in those older videos during Afterbirth lol. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, Doozy. That's very generous of you. Welcome to the Patreon of the Mosh Pit, and of course enjoy your new access, lifetime access to the Sinvicta randomizer. I really do appreciate that. Very, very long that out post, and thank you for being with me for so long. It's that's a long time. It makes me feel old, man. Oh no. CJ is gonna be 8-9 Papa Whiskey 9 X-Ray 6 Charlie. Why do I say oh no? Well, we're starting off with bad movement speed because of the small rock, which this is recorded on a different day, so the fact that we're starting with small rock despite us having it yesterday is kind of weird. But the bigger thing that I'm worried about is, of course, an accidental oopsie on our space bar here, and that is the big problem with Plan C, as it can kill, it will kill Isaac immediately after doing 9999999, a whole bunch of damage to everything in the room. But we've had some incidences in the past where I've accidentally hit the spacebar when I'm not trying to, so I have to do everything in my power not to have that happen. Now, if I really, really, really wanted to, I could go and unbind the key, but I think that's a little bit of against the spirit of the danger here. So I just have to be extremely careful. And we're going to be looking at trying to get rid of Plan C as fast as possible. And yes, that was a direct result of us having 0.7 movement speed. Eesh, that's not great. What is this? What is this first floor here? We're starting off with an Isaac Circle already, huh? On a Thursday. But yeah, just seeing we've had so many new people sign up for the Patreon, getting in for the Sinvicta randomizer, and of course we have the big update, which I don't know if it's been released yet at the time of this recording. Or I know it hasn't been released at the time of this recording, but maybe the time that this goes out, I'm not sure. But big update coming for the randomizer, which is going to be a lot of fun. I think that people are gonna enjoy the expanded universe of the randomizer. I guess it's silly to even say something like that, but it is true though. We're looking at grander visions of the randomizer app, and thank you everyone who's been testing, giving us feedback. And, I'm happy that people are still enjoying it. And we will be doing randomizer runs as soon as the new update goes live. Back on Sunday, back on Twitch, all that kind of good stuff. So if it goes live Sunday, I'm thinking it will. All right, we got to lock in here. Again, I don't want to accidentally slip and hit the spacebar item. That would be, although would be hilarious, I'm sure, for many, many, many people to see everything end like that. And it would be quite poetic for everything to just kind of go poof due to my own incompetence. I'd prefer that not to happen, if at all possible. I would like to end the year with a bang, and not that kind of bang. Now, surprisingly speaking, our shot speed is also almost as bad as our movement speed, which is not good. All that it took us 2 minutes to walk around this entire first floor, only to get a little low-key. And this kind of sucks because we also don't have. No, I'm not going to bond. There's nothing that this could be a Joker card. That's about the only thing that I would care about right now. I mean, a 2 of diamonds, sure, but What I was really hoping for was an active item, just so I don't have to worry about this. You may laugh. You may be thinking, "Oh, come on, like this is ridiculous." Now, it is a legitimately real fear of mine of hitting the spacebar item while having Plan C. It is a danger. It is an actual danger. As silly as that may seem. So I can't really relax here. I don't. Excuse me. I don't feel like I can relax anyway until we get rid of Plan C, just for safety reasons. You know, it just takes one lapse of concentration, or if I drop my phone or something, or who knows, just hit the wrong key and bam, that's it. And we're gonna have the Holy Mantle. So because we have Bone Marrow, I am going to go all the way back here and go into the Curse Room because it's essentially free. And there's not the only spacebar item I can think of that would be in here would be Guppy's Paw, that would feel like a godsend right now. So we could use the Hangman card. It doesn't really matter. It's free, so as long as we don't get hit in here, we won't lose the Bone Heart. And very glad that we didn't spend money or spend HP on that. So we did an absolute full clear here. Got the secret room, got the super secret room, and got a whole lot of nothing in terms of stats. But yeah, again, we can't survive till we get rid of Plan C. So we got on last week's question of the episode, the Curse of the Twos episode, and yes, I did. This is the question of the episode that got upvoted the most, but it was a very common theme. Sent in by Bakalov2410. Title of the post was, question of the episode, if you're always going to forget Lost Soul Buddy, isn't it just better to take it when you spot it rather than leave it behind? I don't do it on purpose. As much as people may seem that is true, I really don't. It is a complete and utter total lapse of remembrance for Lost Soul Buddy. I promise you, I do not do it purposely. The reason why I leave him wherever we find him is because I don't want to risk him dying as I try to clear the rest of the stage or the floor. But obviously, leaving him behind is he might as well not have been dropped at that point by the game. So I'm trying my best to remember it. As everyone knows, I tend to forget things a lot. And Lost Soul Buddy just happens to be one of those things where if something bad happened on the stage, that will distract me from the fact that, we need to go back and take Lost Soul, then, you know, the chances are very increased with me forgetting him. And if you're asking how does it keep happening, because what I will say is, I almost took away our Bone Heart. I would have been right cross. What I will say is that because of how I play, if I leave an item inside of the item room, it is most likely because I've seen it and I don't care about it. So whenever I see it on the map, I'm just like, I don't really care. It must have been an item, and it's just in one ear, out the other. I just don't care, right? So that's the basic reason as to why and how that keeps happening. Even though I see that there is an item just waiting for me in my item room, in my mind, my unconscious side of my mind says, oh, well, I've already looked at it. It must have been an item not worth caring about. So hopefully that provides better clarity, but I swear to you, on all things that are holy, I do not do it on purpose. And I owe Lost Soul Buddy an official apology. I will try to remember my very best to pick you up the next time I see you, but I won't pick you up immediately because I don't want you to die. Let me help you, Lost Soul Buddy. I'm doing it for your sake, not mine. I will go get that Eternal Heart here with the Hangman. However, I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to lose the Eternal Heart. Now, cue the obvious irony here that I will most likely forget to do this and forget about the Hangman card and the Eternal Heart entirely. And this is the second full clear that we've done in a row, so that's how you get a 7-minute second floor. We pick up the Ankh, which is going to give us a transformation into Blue Baby should we die, which is, you know, it's good. Nice to have just a little bit of extra insurance. But I will not feel okay until we get rid of Plan C. So I will even take something like Necronomicon and the Devil Deal. I don't care. Even Blood Rights. I'll pay HP for Blood Rights just so we don't have the threat of Plan C here with us. A nice Tears upgrade here. We really need movement speed. And I mean that solves all of our problems here. As we can take 9 lives and take Jello without risk of us taking without risk of us having Plan C anymore. Let's go back. Let's go grab the Eternal Heart and breathe easy. We can feel okay about this one. So it's a good start here with the Guppy item. I would have preferred if we had gotten a not a Tears up, but a movement speed up. But Tears obviously is going to be fine. I will never, unless it were capped, I'll never ever be like, oh man, I hope we got ourselves one of them there movement speed upgrades over the Tears. Yeah, you'll never catch me doing that. So we get a Black Rune as well, which is going to allow us to consume something for stats. So if we get a really crappy item room or something, we can just go ahead and do that. Not happy about losing that Soul Heart, but we are going to have an Eternal Heart, which is going to give us a permanent HP upgrade on the next floor. And even though we lost the Bone Heart thanks to us taking 9 lives, we gain, obviously, lots of insurance for this run now. Sorry about that. You may have noticed a quick jump there. I had to take a phone call. I'm Evicta. Just checking on me. I had a particularly difficult day of PT, which is still going well. I'm in starting week 7 here, a physical therapy for my back, and I do feel like I've gotten it's definitely improved. I don't know exactly how much it's improved, if I'm totally honest. There's some times when my back feels okay, and there's other times where it seems like no progress has ever been made. So I had to do these exercises. It was a good and a rough day the other day, which basically I had to do. The trainer keeps giving me new exercises, which is good. I mean, you don't want to do the same exercise over and over again. Your body will get used to it. But these in particular were like sled pulls and pushes and lots of back bends and back extensions and that sort of thing. And it's just things. They're just exercises I'm not used to. So that was a big damage and range upgrade there from the Black Rune. Ooh, I think we are going to have to ding our donation machine here, which is why it's there. We go below 600 coins for the first time in a long time. I'm going to grab the Soul Heart as well. So it's a lot of that, you know, very, very full body motion type stuff where I've got the cables and I'm basically doing back bends and pulls and stretches, all kinds of stuff. So it was a rough day, and I told Mama Vic, I texted her, told her that I was gonna take a nap here because I'm kind of sore. She was checking up on me. But the good thing about that, well, yesterday for me, a couple days ago for you, was that I saw little glimpses of myself in the facility that I do the PT at. They have one of those gym full wall mirrors, you know, the ones that to look at correct form or whatever. And I'm not really one to watch myself work out unless I'm trying to really concentrate on form, which for these I kind of have to. And while I was doing the pulls, the sled pulls and the pushes, I kind of looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh, looking okay, looking kind of sporty there, Tiger. You know, and I had little glimpses of how I used to look whenever I was working out and actually in shape. And that gave me more motivation to keep going with this, because I like that. I miss being in shape. I miss lifting. I miss the heavy weights. I miss doing all that stuff. So eventually, when no matter where... Oh, I didn't even see that because of the HP bar there. No matter how this physical therapy ends up, I'm definitely more motivated to get back in the swing of things. And it was just that little bit, that little tiny glimpse when I saw myself doing the mirror, or doing the exercise in the mirror. That was enough motivation to make me feel like that's something that I want for me all the time again. Big dunk there with Mom's foot. Do get a Devil Deal upgrade, or Devil Deal, I should say. And I don't know how much of an upgrade it is. I will take a little Brimmy. I don't necessarily want Dry Baby. Actually, you know what? Come on, Dry Baby. Let's go. That was rude to me. A little Brimstone, and we also have, of course, Jello, which is a DPS booster, essentially. But he's so much more than that, too, though, especially if we get Brimstone. And Epiphora. And Sacred Heart. So that's just maybe your little daily motivation for today here on Thursday. Is a... You know, it's... As a guy, it's a little bit... pretty much only guys will kind of understand this, I guess, in a way. But if you've been at that level where you've been just jacked and you used to lift heavy weights and stuff, and then you try to get back into it after many years of being off, it can be very demotivating to struggle with that weight. With weight, I used to do just as a warm up, and then hands are shaking, palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. You can barely lift the warm up weight, let alone your heavy weights. So, and obviously strength fades. I mean, you have to maintain it. That's why I have such enormous respect for people who do it. I mean, I did it for years and years and years. While playing sports and after sports, I still maintained a pretty good body. But after a while, man, it's I've talked about it before in these videos. It's liberating not to have to do it sometimes, but there's of course consequences for that too. And when you get old, once you get past 60, that's when you really start paying for them. Let me tell you, trust me, brother, trust me. So it was nice seeing glimpses of that in the mirror, where I don't particularly enjoy looking at myself. Finally, get a movement speed upgrade here. I don't particularly enjoy looking at myself at all. I don't like to watch myself on camera. I don't like to see pictures of myself, just because I've never been I'm just not a big picture guy. So when I do look at myself from time to time, it was encouraging to see, like, oh, you're looking okay there, looking okay, bruv, whatever the Brits say. Anyway, let that be the motivation. It's never too late. Never too late to get back in the swing of things. Body is a temple, etc., etc. Super Secret Room might be here. It should be here. If it's not there, I'm going to have some questions for the game. And we'll get another Soul Heart. Okay. So we very well could have easily decided to walk into something and damaged ourselves to get into the boss trap room. I chose not to do that. And now we're going to get C Dizzle here, which C Dizzle thankfully does not contribute towards Conjoined. But maybe we get D Bizzle. We haven't seen D Bizzle since, it feels like 2 weeks ago. C Dizzle, no Devil Deal. That's okay. Wait, well, as you see here, Jello can actually hit that from that range. Wow. Jello making some big time plays. That's what I'm talking about, son. We get Speedball, which is going to get us back to base Isaac movement speed. How low our movement speed was to start this Eden run. And I would love to get some more tears, get some more damage, more movement speed again. And we need some tier effects. Can we get some freaking tier effects? I feel like it's been forever since we've done that, even though we passed up on Death's Touch yesterday. I don't want to... That doesn't really count because we have Mom's Knife. So, you know. Take it as we can get it here. Surprisingly, we still have a chance at boss rush considering how long that first 2 floors took us on this run. We're set up to possibly get there as long as we cut down on the dead ends like this one right here. You dry baby. Get a nickel. But the only thing I would have turned around to get that for. I normally cannot be bothered for this room, but I don't want to lose the golden heart right now. And there it goes. All right. You got jokes, game. Real funny. Secret rooms north of here, pretty much guaranteed. Get more money. Gonna raise this to 73% here. Get the Crooked Penny, which I don't really care about. And we have once again done another circle on this run. Thankfully, thanks to the jumper cables, we will have another full charge for this big room here. I was just getting ready to comment on. This is the room that I should have waited for. Get blasted in the face by a Vis. Oh, okay. And then we get double tapped by that, so... And the chances, thank you, Dry Baby. Chances of boss rush, us making boss rush are now pretty much 0 because we had the world's longest, flattest floor of all time. Not XL floor, by the way. Got this Reggie Gygas looking map over here. Full card would prevent us from having to go and look for the tinted skull on the next floor, but like I said, it's pretty much a done deal now that we are not going to get boss rush. HP. Yep. All right, so we have to go pretty much in the right direction at all times here just to find the mom fight and also get through there in under a minute. And don't think it's going to happen. We'll see. You know, I've never seen a Gutch move like that until now. That was something. This movement speed is directly causing us some issues here. Yeah, so this is pretty much it for the boss rush. We can get into the boss trap room, however. Hopefully Squeezy's is in here. Give us some soul hearts. No, but it did give us a tears upgrade as we go to the world's longest dead end there. So boss rush is done. Now we're just concerned with saving the devil deal here, or at least our devil deal chance anyway. Now we could do that by taking the eternal heart. That does act as sort of a soft eternal or a soft soul heart, but that eternal heart is way more valuable than doing that. So we can't bomb our way into the vault. That room, and we get the crystal key again. Okay. Crystal key had some pretty decent plays for us earlier in yesterday's run, so maybe we get lucky again. But it's pretty much only a matter of time before we lose this devil deal chance. And Guppies... If we don't get a Guppy item on this floor here, chances are we probably won't get them. Gonna make me go through that room, aren't you? Well, here's our Fool card. The only thing that can get us into boss rush now would be Mama Mega, which is still a possibility. We have not seen the shop yet, nor have we seen the item room. Means that they are, of course, adjacent to one another. If we could just get out of this room without taking any red heart damage, we might find a soul heart in the shop, which is undoubtedly going to be a greed fight. No, it's not. Surprisingly. Well, a penny. I'd rather just have the nickel there. Nickel's power, okay. So that's damage. Decent amount of damage at that. And we found the secret room here, thanks to the red key, or thanks to the crystal key. How do I know that's the secret room? Because it doesn't show up on the map, and we haven't been there yet. And it's also not a red room. Oh, it's the super secret room. Well, I'm going to attempt to do the mom fight here and not take any damage. I doubt that we're going to make it, though, even with Jello and our damage, but we can always try. It'll be a fun challenge. Look at that. Look at us. Look at us doing that. We're going to take the Fool card. And I want this Eternal Heart. Well, we need to find the secret room first. The secret room is going to be pretty important here. I'm glad we didn't take the Eternal Heart because that would have kept us from going into the first room here. Now we know that it can't be there. Can't be there. Could be there, but I need to see. No, it can't because we've seen this judgment room. Yeah. Lined by rocks. So it could only be to the left of here, which is south of this room. Excuse me? Oh, it's over here. I should have recognized this room. Okay, so why do I care about the secret room? Well, it's because there's the mystery gift inside the shop. Now we could try to shoot the moon and go for a mystery gift play inside of the first room for a Guppy item, but that would only give us 2 out of 3 for Guppy, and this has the potential, more potential to ball out of control than that. If we get a lucky secret room item, so cross our fingers. Look, we got to make the like streak goal in order to have missing no week happen. All right, and we have not we've not gotten a single tally on that one, so might have to be switching it up again. But we will find something that the Mosh Pit wants to see for the Isaac series, the like streak goal again. Might have to dig deep and bring. Oh, I hate this game. Oh, we just can't even look away for a half second. We gotta walk into fires, game. Fire that was halfway extinguished that I didn't see. So there goes our Eternal Heart. Pretty happy about that. My own fault. I would not like to fight a boss, thank you. So we are pretty much at final build here, and we've got bits and pieces of a good run, but not quite a good run yet. I'm happy that we took Little Brimmy. At least he can hit through environmental objects, while Dingle and Dingle here try to figure out how to get to us. Although somehow Dingle fit through there. This is not only preserving our Devil Deal, or at least trying to anyway, it's also going to make sure that we don't get into a death spiral with 9 lives. Although we did take the Ankh before 9 lives, I believe that 9 lives takes precedent over that. Doesn't really matter the order that you take them in. There's a Tinted Rock here, but unfortunately I used my only bomb to get out of that Loki room, so we do not have one. Another Tinted Rock here. In a run that we've only seen one Tinted Rock up to the certain point of me not having any more bombs, and now we just see 2 of them in a row, so... Don't worry, we've noticed that game. Get a charge key here. Now we have 2 Jellos, and that should help us complete this room. Well, without taking damage until I saw the double Blighted Ovums here. Okay. Oh, man, a double opening there from the Crystal Key. I'll go back in a second, but right now we've got to get some Soul Hearts. Try to preserve our Devil Deal. It's amazing that we didn't take any damage on 1 HP, despite having a 1.0 movement speed. And that's not me patting myself on the back. That's just me being amazed that we did not take damage. You know me, I don't self-gloss. I don't ever, hardly ever, pat myself on the back. Never been me. Oh, we got another red. We got another red door here. I want to see what this one is first. This is just a free key. I don't think that this extends past the map, so I'm not worried about this being an Ayamera room. If it was, it would have... If it was, it would have not shown a room there, if that was an Ayamera room. Future reference, but... Very upset that we lost one of our hard-fought-after Soul Hearts. It always feels like more of a struggle whenever one of your stats is severely lacking. Whether it be damage, whether it be tears rate, or in this case, movement speed. Shot speed is also another one that can really make a run feel worse than it is. It's not helped by the fact that we don't have any tier effects. And this is a total reroll, which I'm not going to do. Ash Key is going to give us 1 Soul Heart. C-Dizzle's trying, you know? He doesn't have his tag team partner with him. We haven't seen D-Bizzle. We need to put an APB out for C-Dizzle. And also Sissy. We haven't seen little Sissy in quite a while. And we need her. The Mosh Pit needs her now more than ever. Turn this month around. I mean, it's my favorite. It's not my favorite month of the year, but it's my favorite holiday of the year. I can't celebrate it without having the family. And Sissy's definitely part of the family. And we failed a 68% Devil Deal anyway. We can get into this curse room for half price if I use the Temperance Machine. I think I'm going to use the Temperance Machine now, but only to get down to Polar Invincibility. This also gives us a little bit more damage thanks to Money Equals Power. We're almost sitting at 10. I can't believe that fly didn't die. One off. This might have an Emperor card or something in it. Ooh, Crawl Space. Okay. We'll get our bomb back +1 plus another key. And Jelly Belly. I don't hate Jelly Belly. Belly Jelly. I did not want the half red heart, although it still maintains Polar Invincibility. Great block there by Dry Baby. And you're seeing the results of us having too much shot speed and everything just kind of boomeranging around and It's acting like it's in space. Not friction. There's no friction anywhere. You dry baby. Trying to utilize little Brimmy here best I can. Boy, we don't have to get close to these jokers. Even though we have the range for it and obviously the shot speed, it still does not benefit us to get close range with anything because of our bad movement speed. Pretty much needed to use Jello in here. Thank you, Dry Baby. Maybe. Looking for any little bit of extra HP. Be nice. That would be one. But I'm going to leave it there in case if we die or something stupid happens on the boss. It's blocked there by Belly Jelly. We do get a red door. First one in a while. There's always the risk of going into extra rooms here is that you spawn these extra enemies. While yes, the payoff for a red door can be good, it can also be equally as bad. In a start where we were kind of hopeful that this one would go nuts. Unfortunately, it didn't quite get there. And it's not over yet. We had some superstars kind of poke their head out every now and then. Sea Dizzle, little Brimstone, Jello, of course. And I will happily take this because this is flying and also, it's flying and also movement speed. Do that. Hit ourselves. Go back into the devil deal here. We can take some Victor robes. We go and grab the Eternal Heart. Down meow. Curse of Blind doesn't really matter. Hardly ever see items in the cathedral anyway. And shout out to, honestly, Money Equals Power. Money Equals Power have been silently helping us a lot on this run. We hardly ever see items in the cathedral. I'm Sinvicta. Literally just drops an item right next to us. Of course, it was either going to be Bob's Rotten Head or Bob's Curse, so we already knew it was going to. You know what? You can have this room game. Very happy to have Lord of the Pit. Gives us flying, gives us movement speed. Does contribute towards the Leviathan transformation, which we sadly will not be getting in this episode. Tried my best to get hit by that. I don't know how Dry Baby did that. Dry Baby triggered by a shot that he got hit by that Super Greed. So interesting that he can hold that charge like that through there because we were about to get hit. And there we go. Maxed it out. Money Equals Power. Now, if you squint really, really hard, you can convince me that we should be doing full clears because we have the Crystal Key. As that would benefit us with the greatest chance that we would have to get the Ultra Secret Room. And I would agree with that if we needed to go that route. If we were just in a desperate situation and we just needed to have a Hail Mary, that's definitely the way to do it. But I'm not going to do that. If we find the Ultra Secret Room, great. Not anticipating that we find it at this point, and it is Curse the Blind. Not that there's too many things in the Ultra Secret Room that could hurt us. Little Loki is pretty much the only one that I wouldn't want. There are a couple of stinker items in the Ultra Secret Room pool, but nothing dangerous. Not like Missing No. Not like, well, actually I take that back. Isaac's Heart is in there. Get an Eternal Chest. All right, I was hoping that was gonna be a Joker card. Jello, you gotta watch your shots here, buddy. Yeah, see, that's some peak clown physics right there. No, we don't need the Callus. Callus gives us immunity to spikes, but obviously we have flying, so not a problem at all. Though it would be nice if it gave you immunity to the Curse Room spikes, which it does not. Only Flat File can do that. Can you bomb your way out of a red door? You can. Did not know that. All right, baby, doing some big time plays here as we continue to look for Isaac. What are your plans for Thursday? Are you gaming? Are you watching football tonight? Playing some Arc Raiders? Not really. I talked about it on stream a couple days ago. Arc Raiders in particular, and the extraction shooter genre as a large on the whole, and I don't know how I feel about the extraction shooter genre. On one side, it does feel more RPG like and entertaining when you're in a group. Like your actions matter. It's not just like Battlefield where you're just a soldier with a whole bunch of other soldiers doing whatever, and it doesn't really have any lasting impact. Whereas in Arc Raider and Tarkov, it's your character progression is your character type deal, you know. So that I do appreciate, but I kind of don't get the appeal of the loop sometimes. I think that it is a very interesting genre as it tries to meld it tries to meld a lot of different things into its own, which I respect. But it's for me, the extraction shooter genre is a good example of why I stopped playing a game like Sea of Thieves, a game that I absolutely loved, a game that I did many collabs with, including with Dead Meat, James, and Fresh Pancakes, two of my good friends. And I love Sea of Thieves. It has everything that I would ever want. The biggest and only downside to that game is the fact that there's forced PvP, essentially. And that was another big complaint with Dune Awakening, is you've got this really awesome world, you've got these really cool mechanics and ideas and good combat and all this stuff, but it's hindered by you being forced to PvP. Now, some people get a little prickly when they hear forced PvP. They're like, oh, you don't have to. No, you kind of do, because even if you don't want to PvP, someone else is going to, and you don't have a choice in the matter. That's the problem, is it comes down to choice. And in Dune, in particular, the problem with their original design, and still the design, is that they were gatekeeping all of the good loot and materials and raw materials and stuff in that game behind having to venture out into the giant PvP zone known as the Deep Desert. And it wasn't until people started quitting by droves that Funcom decided to try and alleviate that, but it still has the problem of the best stuff is still in the PvP zones, even though they've extended those zones. All the biggest spice fields are always going to be at the furthest edge, which, you know, to be fair, there has to be an incentive for PvP. I get that. But one thing that I will always go back to when it comes to PvP in any game is World of Warcraft. you don't have to PvP in WoW, and you can still get amazing gear. You can still fight other players. It balances out the PvP side. That does not exclusively let you thrive in PvE and vice versa, right? WoW tried that for a couple years where they tried to make gear score. That's just going to be your scaling in PvP. Didn't matter if it's PvP gear. It didn't matter if it had resilience or versatility, whatever the hell they call it now. And it didn't work out very well. It's always been nice to have a clear distinction between PvP gear and PvE gear. Let the PvEers have the PvE, let the PvPers have the PvP, and let people choose. And Arc Raiders is kind of the same thing, where I don't get the appeal of the genre when I find something really, really rare. I put a lot of time into grinding this really rare blueprint. I finally got all the materials I need. I got those epic drops. And I make my gun, and then someone comes by and kills me because they played the game 100 more hours than I have, and then I've lost everything. And I got to go back to a starter pack. Now, that hasn't happened to me in Arc Raiders, but that has happened. Something similar has happened to me in Tarkov and also in Sea of Thieves. And there's nothing more that I hate than being someone else's entertainment through them killing me. I'm almost like their bounty, their cash out prize, you know, and that's something that I really, really, really strongly dislike. Let the sweats fight other sweats. I want to sit back. Call it the Care Bear mentality, but I honestly don't care. I promise you, I'm not the only person who feels like that. Many, many, many people who I played Sea of Thieves with over the years have said that they wish there was private servers or just a PvE mode where you don't have to worry about going out to sea and killing krakens and fighting megalodons and getting these rare prize bounty chests and this sort of stuff, only to have a 4-stack of sweats who played the game nonstop habitually for years and years and years just to have a good old time and take everything you got and laugh while they're doing it. Like, that's not healthy gaming. That's not fun. You know, I don't know what developers expect the intended reaction to be. I don't know if they expect the team to get ganked, be like, you know what? Hey, great job. Love playing with you. I hope you guys enjoy the loot. You deserve it. You guys really, really outplayed us. I don't know if that's the reaction that developers feel like everyone should have, but that's not going to be the reaction that I have. My reaction is I'm never turning this game on again. And Arc Raiders, I do like Arc Raiders. It's got a lot of interesting mechanics to it. The combat feels good up to a certain point, but I think it suffers from the thing that I don't like in Battlefield 2, which is that the guns feel like they don't do any damage. If somebody has better shields than you, you're cooked. Just don't even try. And you know, obviously the appeal of an extraction shooter, Arc Raiders in particular, and Tarkov by extension, Arc Raiders is better than Tarkov, I'm just saying, is the risk reward, right? You want to bring those powerful rare guns in so you can outpower and outplay somebody when it comes down to the nitty gritty, when it's time to fight. And the risk there is you risk losing everything. Now there was a game long time ago which I never played. This was way before my time. Called Ultima Online, where they had a similar mechanic in hardcore PvP. I think maybe RuneScape even had it as well. Diablo 2 definitely had it. Where it was very hardcore. You get killed by another player, you lose everything. But the difference between that and something like Arc Raiders is that that's not the main gameplay loop behind it, and there's always the option to not play PvP if you don't want to, and still get the same beneficial rewards, same loot, have the same fun experience, but you just don't have to worry about someone coming by and ganking you. So. That's kind of where the appeal ends for me for Arc Raiders and the like. I really miss Sea of Thieves, though. I loved playing that game. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that episode here. If you did, make sure you click the like button, leave a comment down below. Like I said, let me know what you're doing on this Thursday. I'd love to hear back from the Mosh Pit. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. As always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Like thanks to patrons of mine like Garbitur, Paradoxius Blackheart, Katoryu, and Dakota Finley. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.